They're trying to get rid of voter ID, and they're trying to bring people in or allow people to get in and make it easy for them to travel all around the country. And if someone like let you in the country, wouldn't you vote for them?
But they can't vote, can they?
Well, what if they can?
What do you mean, what if they can? But they can't. It's so stupid. You said they buy votes from a group of individuals who literally cannot vote. God, Republican commentary is so idiotic, man. Is so stupid. Speaking of people who are confident and sometimes confidently incorrect, Joseph Robinette Rogan. Folks, it's been a long time since I watched a Joe Rogan video on this broadcast. I feel like he's fallen off a little bit. Like, he's so hyper invested in COVID stuff. He rarely ever has like cool people on. He did have Stavi Baby on recently. We're just going to hit the Joe Rogan thing raw. No cute girl in the studio, none of that. Just hitting it raw. Just you and me, baby. You on the other side of that screen, whether you're on a laptop, on your phone as you're delivering Amazon packages across the neighborhood, and just me. We're watching this shit. Joe Rogan apparently had a little flub and was fact-checked again in real time by Mr. Jamie.
Well, there's people that voted for Biden that are doing it now. They're like, what did I do?
Right.
Like, what did I choose? Like, how is this guy?
Yeah, you just can't listen to an interview where he's saying some of the stuff he said.
Bro, this dude has literally a video game character from 2007 haircut. Like, I don't know if it's the low pixelation. I don't know what's going on. This is unironically Max Payne 1, okay? My dude's got the Max Payne 1 haircut. What the How does it stay like that? How does it stay like that? I feel like his hair is more powerful than the headphones. Like, you know how people go, haha, you have a head dent, right? Like, oh, you took your headset off and you're like, oh, your hair and you're in the top of your dome, it's got a dent. It's like, no, this dude literally breaks the headset with his hair. I don't know how he did it, but congratulations.
Says it just makes no sense at all. It's like you can't listen to those interviews and feel like you made a good decision. I don't know how you could.
Did you hear what he said like yesterday or a couple of days ago?
Mm-mm.
He was talking about the Revolutionary War. He's like, one of the reasons why we lost the Revolutionary War, one of the problems with the Revolutionary War was they didn't have enough airports.
So this is an interesting start to the conversation, because there are a tremendous number of Biden flubs and gaffes and goofs that you could point to, because my man is a gaffe machine. My man was a gaffe machine even when he was all there, right? Great retail politician, gaffe machine across the board. There's never been a moment in Joe Brandon's career where he hasn't like said some silly shit. And also a serial liar and plagiarizer, right? That's kind of his thing. That's always been his shtick. If you tracked Joe Biden's career, you would recognize that he's always popped off with like plagiarism and also embellishing his past in a way that is not dissimilar to George Santos in many ways. But recently, of course, he has, he doesn't have the mental acuity that he used to have. He doesn't have the mental fortitude. He's not all there, right? In the way that as long as, when you get older, in the way that you see your grandparents kind of start to not have the same light behind the eyes. So there's plenty of moments that you can point to with respect to Mr. Robinette Brandon, except Joseph Robinette Rogan posted something weird. So let's take a look at what happens here.
Have you seen that?
I saw that. It's like, what the hell?
Like, pull him.
It's crazy.
If you had any other job and you were talking like that,
yeah,
they would go, hey, you're done.
A few moments later.
The same stable genius that said the biggest problem we had in the Revolutionary War is we didn't have enough airports. Whoa.
Yeah, that's it.
Whoa.
What?
Just for the record.
Is that fake?
It's not fake, but he was referencing Trump saying that. Here's what Trump saying it in 2019.
Oh.
Donald Trump said something about that. He didn't say
Okay, so here's one thing that I find to be a massive mistake for the Biden campaign. Talking about Trump's mental fortitude. Now, I know there's a lot of Democratic Party dick riders in the chat who will unconditionally support the Democratic Party no matter what. And they will say things like, Joe Biden is actually all there. This is a moment where Joe Rogan f***ed up. But I have a different perspective on this. But I do love Joe Rogan. like this and having Jamie live fact check.
Jesus, he said a stable genius, and that's where the transcription.
Let me hear what it says. What did he say?
In June of 1775, the Continental Congress created a unified army out of the revolutionary forces encamped around Boston and New York, and named after the great George Washington, Commander-in-Chief. The Continental Army suffered a bitter winter of Valley Forge, found glory across the waters of the Delaware, and seized victory from Cornwallis of Yorktown. Our army manned the airport. It ran the ramparts. It took over the airports. It did everything it had to do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What? Yo! Oh, the Revolutionary Army.
So he fucked up.
Yeah, he did. But I feel like
Took over
that's
the airport.
you can tell too. It sounds like a little different. He's like, you could tell he like messed up his words, but yeah. He was just,
Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, never mind. Okay, got it.
I don't know.
Took over the airports.
Well, that's
Oh, come on, guys. Come on. Come on. Come on. You can say Trump says some dumb shit too. What? That's crazy.
That's the thing about media these days. It's like,
right.
Oh, yeah. It's a much larger problem with media. Bitch, where are you at? You're at the Joe Rogan Experience. You are literally the media doing the wrong thing. Okay. So what I was going to say about this piece is that there's a couple different things. First of all, you know what my perspective is, right? I do think that what do I always say? I say Donald Trump is delusional, but he's not demented, right? Whereas Joe Biden, on the other hand, comes across like he doesn't have the mental fortitude that he once had, but at least like the team holding it together demonstrates a level of stability. Now, that stability is still bad overall, like what you've seen during this saga of the Israeli ethnic cleansing of Gaza, right? That doesn't mean it's good policy, but it is actually stable. It is real stability. And it's not Brandon himself doing this stability, it's the people around him. So that's something to consider. Trump has always done stuff like this. He gets shit wrong all the time. But if you put Trump and Joe Biden side by side, toe to toe in a jail cell where they're going for 30 minutes without any scripting, without any prompters, yeah, I think Trump is absolutely going to look like he is cognitively better than Joe Biden, okay? What's really sad is that those are the two options in the United States of America in front of us, okay? We have 800-year-old Joe Biden, who definitely is showing his age. And then you have like 799-year-old Donald Trump, who will be older than Joe Biden was when he ran for president and won, right? This time around, with definitely seemingly better mental acuity, however, is a delusional, despotic psychopath who keeps getting worse and worse with his rhetoric this time around. The real argument is not 99% Hitler versus 100% Hitler. It's 99% demented versus 100% demented. Going back to the Joseph Robinette Rogan moment. Yeah, Joe, they're pissing off the voters to get votes for people who can't vote here.
12:55. Yeah. Did you see that video? There was a video that was going around today of people in Chicago that are furious that the government is giving so much money to all of these immigrants that have illegally migrated into Chicago.
No, I didn't see that.
They're giving them cell phone and $1,200 whatever it is, and these people are freaking out.
Yeah.
And these people that were Democrats are like, hey, if Trump wants to talk to us, come talk to us. Like we're tired of this shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, this is wild to see. These people are waking up. Like, why are you giving people that aren't even from here all this money and a free phone and all this shit? You're not giving anything to us.
That is. It's like, I think those people deserve. But that's what it's like. We're seeing that's like, why aren't regular people getting that same shit? Why doesn't everybody just get that? Why is that person getting special treatment where it's like we're just. I mean, that's the safety net.
They
shit.
shouldn't get it either. What they're doing is they're trying to buy votes. That's what I think they're doing. They're trying to get rid of voter ID, and they're trying to bring people in or allow people to get in and make it easy for them to travel all around the country. And if someone like let you in the country, wouldn't you vote for them?
But they can't vote, can they?
Well, what if they can?
What do you mean, what if they can? But they can't. It's so stupid. You said they buy votes from a group of individuals who literally cannot vote. God, Republican commentary is so idiotic, man. Is so stupid. It's so dumb. I can't believe we feed people who are in prison. Damn, Dems buying votes. Joe Rogan isn't a Republican. Learn your facts. Joe Rogan isn't a Republican law. That's the funniest part about this argument is that Joe Rogan has openly said that Ron DeSantis is like very good. Okay? And much better as a politician than anyone else. I don't know what the deep shame people feel about like who they want to vote for and what they believe in. Okay? I openly say like I vote for the Democratic Party. Okay? I'm not a Democrat. I don't like the Democratic Party. I regularly criticize the Democratic Party. But having said that, I vote for the Democratic Party. Okay? That's it. It's the lesser evil voting. That's what gets me every time. Having said that, I'll still use my voice and my community to try to get the Democratic Party to do to do things that are objectively good, right? He's just against the deep state and realizes how fucking corrupt everyone is. No, he's not, brother. You are not against the deep state if you're pro Ron DeSantis. What do you mean? And if you're pro Donald Trump, you're not against the deep state either. Donald Trump is not an anti-deep stater. He was literally the president. Shut up. It's so stupid. It's so incredibly stupid. He's not pro Ron DeSantis. He can say he has some good policies. Yeah, good policies like what? Banning books in school? Like owning trans students or whatever? These are all reactionary Republican agenda items. If you like them, you are most likely a Republican. Not locking the entire state down during faker COVID. Except the same capitalist enterprises that wanted the states to be open were also playing a pivotal role in the CDC rolling back some of those restrictions that they were posing at the tail end once the vaccines were out and rolled out. So I don't know what you're talking about when you say the deep state. The draconian policies weren't keeping your ass at home and giving you money, dumbass. The draconian policies were saying, yeah, keep going to work, actually, and you no longer even get a day off when you actually get sick. It doesn't even matter if you get other people sick. Oh, yes, let's give everybody money. How'd that work? Record inflation. First of all, okay, that's Donald Trump. So you're all over the place with your politics, I guess. And secondly, if you didn't give people money to stay at home, people would have just simply died, okay? And not only would have people died, but the global consumption engine would have fallen apart, absolutely eviscerating the global economy. So you had to give people money regardless, okay? That's two. Everyone says shut down and give free money, all the Democrats. So you're saying Donald Trump was a cuck and gave people free money. You're all over the place with your arguments because I didn't like the shutdowns, okay? But I understood, especially before the vaccine, that it was an absolute necessity, okay? Rolling back commerce to a certain degree was an absolute necessity for the safety of individuals. There are plenty of places that did not shut down at all, and they suffered a tremendous amount of losses. Now, having said that, however, once the vaccines were rolled out, big time advocate for that shit, it was great. It was awesome. I was immediately out and about, and the unfortunate reality is that many people still refuse to get the vaccines. We still didn't take the necessary precautions when we were traveling, and COVID still kept popping off. You think you can actually change the mind? No, but I think it's good that I'm actually responding to his stupid takes because it gives people the ammunition to deal with their relatives, especially during the holiday season when they have to deal with their dumbass relatives whose brains have been broken and they will never actually recover from that and have become like insanely conspiratorial weirdos.
But they're talking about not having voter ID.
But you have
like, what do you think that they were talking about it in New York? They were going to try to make it so that you weren't, if you weren't a citizen, you could still vote in New York.
Interesting.
That was something that was discussed, right?
I don't know, because my dad
Google
can't
that thing
vote.
about New York.
I think it was discussed, but I don't know that's
attempts.
Anyway, the most important thing to understand is if the Chicago residents also got that, Rogan would also hate it and consider buying of votes. It's funny, I think Stav is about as good as anyone I've seen disagree with Rogan using the tone of agreement. Rogan was on his pandemic made workers lazy shit again.
Nature, man.
And I think I prefer what you're saying is like, yeah, let's cover our bases, which we don't do right now.
Right.
And I think the thing that I think just as likely for if you give somebody free money, they're not going to do shit. We're trapped in this opposite thing where it's like people have to work hard as shit to barely make it.
Yeah.
Where it's like that zapping all that human potential too, because those people are just surviving at shit that they don't have time to because they just have to make rent. Everything is more expensive. Right. You don't have any time to And
this is another great point. If the vaccine was going to kill us all and the rich or the elites were doing it intentionally, then why were the rich and the elites among the first to get vaccinated? Remember all those stories about rich people trying to buy their way to the front of the line? Yes, exactly. But don't ask that to the dumb mother whose life is shit, who thinks that he's in on a conspiracy. Okay? It's so stupid. Guys like the anti-vax chatter show up here to be annoying because they have worn everyone else's patience thin being this way for damn near 4 years. Type of guy that makes you start eating lunch in your car at work. I mean, that's like, they got to go somewhere. They've been profoundly annoying. They've lost all their friends and family. Their only way of like feeling alive at this point is basically duking it out with motherfuckers and trying to get them to listen to what they have to say. Like they're speaking the truth when no one has died.
I do agree with you that kind of the middle ground is get their basic needs met and then let them be able to work, but not have to work, 60 hours a week or whatever the fuck, or work 40 hours, but it's grueling for less pay. Like, because you do need that time. You need that space to, I think
if you want to get
correct.
ahead and you want to figure your own path in life, you got to have some time.
Yeah.
It's going to either cut into your sleep or it's going to cut into your social life. It's going to cut it, but you're going to need some time.
Totally.
And that's the one benefit for a motivated person for universal basic income.
Right.
But my feeling was when I watched everybody during the pandemic when they were all getting unemployment, how many people didn't want to go back to work? They just wanted that free money. I was like, ooh, this is wild.
I mean, but some of that also is that they were like, because my friends were like, what the this is like like I'm making less money working hard as on what unemployment pays. Like this is what the government thinks you barely need to subsist. And when I go back to work, I make less than this and I work hard as shit. I mean, it's also a problem of like, I think people also saw in that moment how mistreated they were being and how underpaid they were being a lot of the time, where it's like this low pay, which it wasn't that much money, right?
Well, they started ramping up pay at a lot of places after the pandemic.
Yeah.
They ramped up pay everywhere. Like they advertise like high pay, like places like McDonald's.
Yeah.
Like what does McDonald's pay now? I think it pays like $18 an hour.
One of the funniest parts about this conversation that people always bring up for some reason is like, and liberals do this on Twitter a lot, is that, oh, well, a lot of leftists claim that like higher wages would bring would bring about inflation, right? And yet they seemingly hate it now that inflation is upon us. And it's like, first of all, brother, what are you talking about? Like the inflation predated the higher wages, dumbass. What the are you talking about? And Joe Rogan is an absolute moron for perpetuating this stupid ass take too. I guess, this should make the Twitter liberals who love capitalism and love dunking on the left or whatever really reconsider their position when like Joe Rogan is saying the same exact shit that they're saying. I love that this guy started out by saying Joe Rogan is not a conservative, by the way. It's like believing the top of the hour ad break is actually just a myth. That's how silly that shit is. Joe Rogan 100% has a shit ton of conservative beliefs, okay? He always has, and he's certainly got them way, way, way worse, okay? The ad break is not a myth. It's real. If this was true Machiavellian stuff and not just Chicago Dems wanting some place for migrants besides O'Hare in the streets, maybe the GOP could use some info to win elections by housing some migrants in their communities.
Exactly, dude.
They actually practice when no one's around.
A fine artist, like I respect them more than comedy. And I love that, though. I think it should be I like that we're the lowest form of show business.
Yeah, it's good.
We're we are dumb as we have like a type. Some of us have a type of intelligence, or like I think what I like is emotional intelligence. I can pick up on people, but I'm not reading books anymore.
Most of my mind, I think my brain is essentially like a tachometer. Like I can redline that bitch.
Yeah.
Like if I have scientists and I have to have discussions with them, or if there's something serious that I have to debate about with someone, I can redline it.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I'm cruising on the highway at a steady 2,500 RPMs.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a golf cart. I'm just going like, hey guys, how we doing? Let me tell you about what time my dick didn't get hard.
He means he regurgitates Facebook memes that he has in his meme folder, by the way. Everybody wants to feel smart. It's a perfectly understandable thing, okay? People want to feel smart. People want to feel like they're in on something that other people are not in on. And this creates this like weird cycle. I mean, plenty of you guys do the same thing. I do it as well. But plenty of you guys are doing it literally right now. Like, you listen to what I have to say, and then instead of doing your own reading further, instead of investigating it on your own, which I do always recommend, you oftentimes just like regurgitate what I've said, and maybe you didn't even fully understand what I had said, and then someone will like come in and own you or whatever with their talking points, and then obviously like it doesn't feel good. But that is, you know, you got to do more investigating beyond what I'm saying.